All right, so,
Yeah. Please remind me every morning.
let's see, do I got anything on here? Let me try and find a file that's already got some junk in it. Still in here? One sec, might take me a second here to find the file. I haven't loaded this computer up yet. What's this got?
It's beautiful.
Yeah, nothing in it. Okay, here's one. All right, so here's a drawing. This is that one we did with blocks. Okay, so this has got some stuff in it, and it's got some layers. Now, what you're going to be asked to do, so you're going to have some layers up here. You're not going to have these, but you're going to have 4 or 5 layers when you open the file, and you're going to see some stuff in here. And let me just kind of, one sec here. Okay. Ah, damn, I hit escape on that. After I did all that, and I went and hit escape. Okay, so let's say I've got all this here, all this, and we this time hit enter to get out of this thing. Okay. And let's put this on another layer. So we'll put a text. Okay, so you're going to have something like this. And what you're going to be asked to do is go in and get rid of everything except for some layers. So how do I get rid of layers? How do I delete them?
Go into your layer properties.
Okay, 2 ways. One is go right to layer properties right here. Okay, so if I go into my layer properties,
Chobani is next door if anybody's interested in internships.
okay, thank you, Yana.
Oh my God.
Okay, so if I come in here now, if I come in and I click on border, how do I delete this?
Click the one with the X on it.
Got a little red X up here, right? Or you can hit the delete key. Now if I hit delete, it says selected layer was not deleted. What are the layers you can't delete?
Okay.
I never heard any of that, but I think you all know. So any layer that is current cannot be deleted. Any layer that has geometry on it cannot be deleted. The 0 and depth points layer cannot be deleted. Okay. So what that means is, what are you going to do? First thing you got to do is you got to clean the drawing of those layers. Okay, so I'm going to come back out to my screen. I'm going to do a Control-A delete. Okay, so I've deleted all the geometry. Now, there will be some stuff in your paper space that you won't be able to delete this stuff. Okay? And I'm not going to ask you to delete every layer. I'm going to have a text layer and the border and that type of stuff, and you'll leave those alone. But I am going to ask you to delete some. Okay. So once I've got those done, then I can come into layer, and I can delete anyone that doesn't have geometry on it. So my OBJ doesn't, so I'll just delete that one. You see it goes away. The dim doesn't have anything on it. I can do it. Now there's another way to delete all these layers a little easier. Okay. The way to do it is first, make sure the 0 layer is current. Because remember, you can't delete a current layer either. So I'm going to set this layer current, and I'm going to close this, and I'm going to just go into the purge command. This is really kind of the best way to clean a drawing. And here I have my little layers open. It will show me all the layers I can delete. So I'll just select them all here, say purge. We're going to clean all these blocks out of here. Purge. Line types, I don't want to delete those, but I may. Dimension styles if I have them. So this is just a good command to come in and kind of clean stuff up. Text styles, I can purge all that stuff right here.
So are you deleting all
geometry?
If I gotta get rid of a layer, I have to delete the geometry that is assigned to that layer. I cannot delete it if it has anything on it in the entire drawing. It won't let me delete it. It's protecting that geometry.
But when you say that you want to clean, are you implying that all the geometry should be removed from the drawing? Or should it be moved to the zero layer?
In this case, we're gonna toast it all.
Okay.
Now, if it's a case where you open something and you need some geometry, you're gonna keep that. But you're gonna toast all the stuff beating around. Yes, Sean?
So like when we go through and we're cleaning out that stuff, is there, are there gonna be like certain things that you're looking for us to clean out, or are we just kind of cleaning everything?
You'll follow the instructions, and your
Okay.
instructions will tell you to clean everything,
Okay.
except for the paper space title block.
Okay.
Well, could you keep the layers and change, when you say change your object to a different color, and do you have to rewrite them all in there, or can you just change them?
You don't know the whole story with layers right now.
Okay.
And you don't know if there's layer states sitting on the backside of those layers, which
Okay.
we skipped over the layer states in the layer chapter.
Yeah,
Delete the layer.
okay,
Don't change it,
okay.
because you don't know, there's some stuff in the background. Yes, Becca?
So my question is, you're gonna give us a drawing, you're gonna have like an elephant drawn in there, you're gonna want us to delete the elephant, and then leave all the layers and stuff, and then delete
his food too.
No, probably delete the layers too.
the layers we don't want.
Everything but zero.
We want a stripped out drawing
wanna clean
to start
template.
from.
You want
Okay.
you want to
I
clear
got
on
it.
the
So you want us to
elephant.
take a bunch of crap and turn it to nothing so that we
And
can
elephant's
start drawing?
food, and
Yes.
little shelter.
Yes, that's maybe putting it much better than.
What did he say?
I
And
just want
if
us to make a template
Yeah,
from the crap that you give us.
Yes. Okay,
Exactly.
say that loud so everybody can hear you.
Okay.
Well,
That's
that's
perfect.
that's what it is, right?
Yes.
I mean, you want us
Okay,
to
I
be
get it.
able to start over again.
Yes,
So basically, we're just gonna delete everything just to start over.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you now.
So is it only?
Then why not start from scratch?
I use that terminology in years in the future. Okay, so I've now stripped this thing out. Okay, I've gotten rid of all the layers that I needed to. I'm now down to 3 layers, border, text, and viewports, which I need in paper space. I've gotten rid of everything else. I've gotten rid of all the geometry. Next thing you're going to do is you're going to come in here and you're going to have to add some layers. Okay? So you need to come in here and be able to add a new layer. So I'll just make one. So I'm just going to come in and click on my new layer button right here. Gives me a thing. I'm going to give it a name. So in this case, let me just call it testing 1. Well, I'll give it a color, which I click into here and I'll assign a color to it. So in this case, I'll use, I think you can see yellow pretty good. You're going to have to load line types. Okay, so be able to load a line type. So in this case, you'll click on your line type, go into load. You may have to or not, so let me do hot water on this guy. You're gonna have to set a line weight. Now, you won't have to toggle this from metric to English. Remember how we did that through the line weight command? It will be set to English, so, but you'll come in and set a line weight. So let's go 028 on this one. Now, you're gonna have several of these to create, but you need to know all those steps. Are there any questions on what I did there? Assigning the properties to a layer? Yes, Becky?
So if we want to add like a layer for us so we can draw, can we add an extra layer, or do you want just those layers that you assign us?
Yeah, if you want to, you can. Just make sure that you're following and have things on the correct layer as you draw.
Okay. Gotcha.
And the line weights, you'll give us that?
Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
Do you want to see all of our construction lines or whatever that we do?
No,
Oh,
Okay,
no.
I was answering the question.
Yeah.
Okay, now, once you have that, then you're gonna come in and you're gonna do something like, I don't know, draw a rectangle. And then maybe I gotta put a circle in here. Hot water circle. Yep. have to do that, then you're gonna, once you draw those, then you're gonna take some geometry and I'll tell you, hey, this one needs to go on this layer. So do that, move it from this location to that location, just kind of some real basic navigation stuff here on how to get things so they clock correctly in the right space. And that's gonna be fairly straightforward. Not nearly as strenuous as any of your drawings that you've done.
Okay.
Okay. You're not gonna be sitting there studying a drawing for 20 minutes figuring out how to draw. So it'll be something like this. Then after that, there will be a scale to this. Okay. So in here, remember, we had a little process we went through where we took our template, put it in there and scaled it up. I guess I never talked about that. Make sure you can do that process. So let me just go, let's say a 1 to 20 scale here. If I was doing a 1 to 20 scale, how would I go about doing it? Remember we have this model space viewport we scale up? Let me put that in here.
Yeah.
So there's my viewport. Let's say we're doing a 1 to 20 scale. So my PSF is equal to
1/20.
1 over 20. My DSF
20.
is 20, right? Okay. So our steps are, what do we scale this in by our DSF, right?
Yep.
We scale. We scale it up 20 times. Okay. So that's there. Let me, I'm going to scale this stuff down so that it fits here. Okay. So we'll use that to center. We'll have to come through your annotative scales over here. You'll probably have to create this scale. Okay, so I go into the custom. If you've got it there automatically, just choose it or check it. But I'm going to go and add one, in this case 1 to 20. So there's the name, and I change the drawing units to 20. So that's that scale. And then I set that current. Now I'm done here, right? Well, you guys know the units command and all that, so you don't want me to go into any of that?
Yeah, you should.
You want to see it? Okay, so UN, 8. You will have to set these. I'm not going to tell you whether it's decimal or architectural. It'll be one of those two. It's not a metric drawing. Okay. So just set this to whatever you want it to be. Well, what I tell you to do it to. Not to whatever you want.
But decimals you want to 3 places.
Yeah, and I'll tell you.
Oh, okay.
If he says,
Okay. I think that's all those.
if he says 2, go
options.
3, if he says 3, go 4.
Now, the other part you have to do, once you finish your drawing, you come into here, make sure you fill out your title block, folks. Make sure, that would be a really silly place to lose a lot of points. But if you come in here and this thing says full, that's a pretty major mistake on a drawing.
Yeah.
When you do it at 1 to 20 and you tell them it's 1 to 1, that's an unusable drawing, right? But you make sure you're doing your due diligence down here. So you're coming in, changing this, changing the date. It's not 15, it's 18, whatever, and your scale, whatever you want there. Then be able to do your centering deal. Double click in, zoom extents, double click out, grab that viewport, scale it 1 to 20. Use then you're ready to plot. Okay. You will be going to the LaserJet. I'm not going to use the plotter for this, so it'll be an A or a B sheet. Okay. So you are using Omni at 127. Set the sheet size, in this case it's letter, plot the window, center. Your black pen should be available to you. You're always printing 1 to 1 out of paper space. Do a print preview. Okay. Send it to the printer. You'll turn in this. 1 plot's all you get, and then I want the digital file also.
And if you can't get the digital file to you, you're screwed.
You'll get the digital file.
When you
We're resizing the square and the circle. You did an SC, and then you also did it 1 to 20.
That was just so it would fit in the box.
Yeah, I just, because it was way bigger than what it would fit here, I just scaled it down so it would fit.
You highlighted it and scaled it,
Why
to
would you
20,
scale it 1 to 20?
right? You
My
highlighted
viewport is
it.
scaled 1 to 20.
Why didn't you scale your?
You don't, it doesn't take fractions, so just.
Oh,
read
don't
your
worry
code.
about the geometry. Your geometry will fit.
Okay.
You know the start from scratch option, creating a template. Because that's what you're gonna have to do. You're gonna have to clean, create a template. Then you need to know how to go do a scaled template off of a normal one, right? Because it's gonna be a scaled drawing. And we just hit those steps. So just practice those. If you have any problems with them, get me. I'd be more than happy to sit down at your desk and watch you go through those options. Say, oh, no, you got that one, or you missed that one, or whatever the case might be, if you have any questions on those. And this thing's not any more complicated than that. Don't make it harder than it is. It's drawing setup. Okay.
Are you able to see all of the steps we do from our digital file? Is that something?
Yeah, I can see the majority of them.
Remember the list, I mean, that too?
Now, I don't know that you really want to use your text here, but this is, obviously, you've got help available to you. You've got other drawings out there, so if I say, hey, load this layer, and one you got out there, you can use a design center. I don't think you will, but keep in mind, you'll have your help available to you. You're not going to need your book. But anything that's sitting on your desktop, you're more than welcome to use. I think that's a pretty good review, just knowing those 2 pages off of those cheat sheets. First one, clean the drawing, create a template. Then do a scale drawing off of a template. And you've got both of those steps right here, where the very first ones, you start from scratch, the very last ones, producing a scale drawing. I don't want you to use this. So you just have access to your computer. I think that's a good test review. There's not really going to be anything on it that we just didn't talk about. Is there anything else you would like to discuss?
Does the purge only affect the drawing you're in?
Yes. And you don't have to use purge. You can delete stuff individually. Purge is just a good place to get to everything right at once.
What if you are in the purge command and you delete a layer you needed? Is there a way of undoing it?
Yeah, you can undo, I think.
Okay.
If you can't, then you just recreate it.
Okay.
Anything else? Okay. That will be it then. So we'll do that. Now, your drawings are going to be 1 a day. I think we're on 10 today is due today. And you will have all week to get those in. Okay, because we're going to start drafting 133, not tomorrow, but the next day. We're going to be a couple days in that before we know enough to where we're going to do a drawing. Okay. So we'll keep these drawings going for a couple days. All right, that's all I've got for today. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
The rest of the day is yours.